What's up, TWPers and soon-to-be TWPers? Dr. Chad from the Wellness Point. Just wanted to cover with you guys 3 reasons why I get adjusted on a weekly basis. Questions came up over the last few weeks, and I just wanted to shoot this quick video for you, just so you didn't forget. Maybe it's been 2 years since you took orientation class. So I'll start real deep and really superficial, so we can catch those people that we lost in the beginning. So 34 years ago, when my mom and dad decided to get together and have some kids, a couple bambinos and a couple bugaloos, a half cell from my mom and a half cell from my dad met in the womb and became one cell with 46 chromosomes, and those 46 chromosomes replicated and divided over time, and those one cell turned into 2 and 2 into 4, and in 6 weeks there was this organism, this life, and in through it ran this thing called the notochord, and that notochord had this intelligence inside of it that told heart tissues to start to form and start to pump, and these lungs started to form to get ready for their first breath, and there was intestinal lining, and in about 9 months I popped out of the womb and I took my first breath, and there was something inside of me that taught that I knew how to nurse. I didn't have to read a book on how to do it, it was already inside of me. And where did all that intelligence go? Did it go inside the placenta and we just threw it out, or was it still inside my mom, or was it still inside me? It was still inside me, just like it's in each and every single one of you and each and every single one of your kids. And a subluxation interferes with that expression and that intelligence that runs in and through your nervous system from above down, inside out, to get into every organ and tissue in your body. So that's the first reason why I get checked on a weekly basis. Number 2, this is for all you science nerds out there. Your brain and your nervous system is going to work in 2 modes of operation: the gas pedal, the sympathetic nervous system, and the brake pedal, the parasympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is designed to be turned on and turned off. It is not designed to be stuck on for too long. Just like when you're being chased by a bear, you're in a fight, your physiology is not designed to be stuck in that for an extended period of time. 99% of our life we should be on this. If we are in a disease process, it means we're stuck on this side. So the things that stick that system on are stressors. Stressors come in 3 forms: the physical, the chemical, and the emotional stress, or if you've heard us talk about the 3 T's, thoughts, traumas, and toxins, that's what they are. So sitting on your butt for too long, poor posture, your kids that are sitting in front of one of those Chromebooks and doing homework and studying, that's a physical stress to the spine. Chemical stress, every time that you got a cough, a sneeze, a wheeze, you're under the medicine cabinet for a Tylenol or a drug. And an emotional stress of paying medical bills, having debt, credit cards, relationships, you got a death in the family, you're going through divorce. All of those things chronically activate this side. So if you're chronically under this amount of stress, it's going to chronically activate this side, and depending on the ingredients that went in and how your body is able to handle that stress, it'll manifest into a symptom. For some of us, it looks like muscle aches and pains, headaches, behavioral issues, headaches, anxiety, and for other people it's cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and for some kids it's things like autism spectrum disorder. So how we fix that is the shift in neurology. If you're stuck in this state, the adjustment helps to shift the neurology back into brake pedal mode by unstressing your nerves, and you keep those nerves unstressed by exercising on a regular basis, getting off your tush, not reaching for the medicine cabinet every time you got an ache and pain. Maybe you got a headache, maybe because you didn't have enough water yesterday. Maybe that's why you had a headache, not because your body lacked the production of Tylenol. Eating real food, what your animal eats is important. What's being sprayed on your food is important. And emotional stress, be happy, smile. You can be politically incorrect and say go to church or pray well. That's how you minimize those stressors, to keep your body parasympathetically driven so it's in full heal mode. And people that created a disease process for 30 years living in this state, for some reason they expect 3 times in this office to reverse that. And it just doesn't happen that way. You have to do this thing consistently over time to keep your body in that state. And then the body begins to heal and this stuff goes away. So the medical system looks to treat everything below here, and chiropractic looks to treat everything above. So we look at the input, not the output. Medical systems look at the output and they treat the output, they diagnose and they try to manipulate and change behavior, or they try to change the symptoms or cover up the symptoms, but they don't change the input going into the system, which is the thing creating it. And the third reason of why I get adjusted, this is very superficial, but you guys will be able to understand this because you can kind of see it. Your spine is designed to have a specific shape. It's got a curve in the neck, a curve in between the shoulder blades, and a curve in the low back. And from front to back, back to front, that spine should be no more than 2 degrees off. Some people that have severe scoliosis, you can see that that causes compression on those nerves, interfering with that innate intelligence that's being expressed into the organs. But just this alone, if you're just talking about the bony things alone, and not talking about the nerve tissue, just the bone structure itself, is that going to be stable or unstable? When your spine starts to subluxate, your ears go in front of your shoulder, you lose the curve, and it's unstable. So the body is very, very smart. It's going to protect itself. Just gravity over time is going to make that worse. So what it does is the muscles go into spasm, they get tight, and then these joints actually start to break down and degenerate, and the bone on top will then start to fuse to the bone on the bottom. That happens in just 14 days. That's called arthritis, degenerative arthritis of the spine. And just like the guy that eats bad food for 14 straight days, or the girl that sits and never exercises and eats a poor diet, she doesn't turn into 80 pounds overweight in 2 weeks, right? It's a slow process that happens, and then 3 years from now, she sees herself in a picture, she looks back in the mirror and goes, wow, what the heck happened? And it's the same thing with arthritis in your spine. It doesn't happen, you don't feel it in 14 days, but you compound it over 14 months and 14 years. You go, wow, what the heck happened? So, I hope you guys got that deep, the scientific and the superficial reason. And the reason I shot this video is because there was a practice member just, I think it was about last week or so, they were leaving their house and they saw their friend or their relative and they said, hey, where are you guys going? And they said, well, we're going to the chiropractor. And I got kids, and they said, you're bringing your whole family to the chiropractor? Why are you doing that? And she was kind of like, almost caught off guard, like, I don't really know how to answer that question. And a lot of you guys might not know how to answer that question. You're like, I don't know, I just do it because he told me that I should do it, and I want to keep the privilege of using the box. And that's not the right reason. We're not the medical system. I don't want you doing it because I told you to do it. I want you to do it because you understand your reason why you're doing it. And the truth is, you do not need to know the science behind why you're getting adjusted. Whether you believe in the science or not, this is going to happen to you every single time that you get adjusted. It just is. It's neurology. It's not going to change. And so just ask yourself, and everybody's why is a little different, but most people's why, when you first ask them, it's very superficial, and you got to drive it to make it more deep. So why do people, I ask these people, I said, why do you come to see a chiropractor? Why do you come here every week? And they go, well, because it makes me feel better. And I said, well, that's not, we don't really treat pain, but why do you want to feel better? And they say, well, because when I feel better, I feel healthier. Okay, well, then why do you want to be healthy? Well, when I'm healthy, I'm able to go to my work and be more productive, and I can earn more money. I said, well, why do you want to be productive and earn more money? I said, well, I can provide for my family better. Well, why do you want to provide for your family better? And they said, well, because I had a dad who wasn't there for me, and now that I'm healthy, I can be there for my kids, and I can instill that on the next generation. And I had grandparents that didn't get to see my grandbabies, and I want to see my grandkids. I don't even have grandkids anymore. I don't have grandkids right now, but I want to see my grandkids. And I said, that's the reason why you come every week, because you're seeing yourself 30 years from now without this, and you're seeing yourself 30 years from now with this. And you go, if I can compound this over time and keep my body in this state, I'm going to be in a completely different spot than if I didn't. So the reason people quit, the reason people stop showing up on a weekly basis, is because their reason why is really superficial. They just want to feel good. They just want to look good. They just don't want to have symptoms. And unfortunately, sickness and disease, it's a process. It's not a person. It doesn't care about how we look, how we feel, the absence of symptoms. This stuff is invisible, and you can't feel it until it's too late. So, I hope you guys do something about it. Click the like button, share the video. If your friends want to know why, you can share this with them. We'll see you soon.